Welcome back to Racing Direct, guys. Today we have to provide an update on Williams. My goodness, what on earth is going on there? So just a quick reminder of what happened at the last Grand Prix in Australia. We all remember that Alex Albon had that massive crash in FP1, and then of course they had to reveal that we can't actually fix this car in time for the Grand Prix, and Albon was our best chance at points, so Sargent had to watch him on the sidelines for the rest of the weekend. Now we're rolling into Japan. It doesn't sound like they're going to have another chassis ready for Sargent, so there's a bit of confusion. What is going on? What's going to happen? Well, we do know they have repaired Alex Albon's crash chassis from Australia. Now they've announced that Sargent will be racing Albon's wrecked car, while Albon will keep Sargent's intact car. Now, obviously, times are tough at Williams, but for me, this is just beyond embarrassing. There's so many things wrong with it. Team principal James Vowles did come forward last week and said that the mess with this chassis and the fact that they can't get another one ready, that is completely on him because of some rearrangements he's made within the team internally. But my goodness, there is really just no excuse for a Formula 1 team to be in this kind of a state in this day and age where they just can't get a car fixed, they can't get a spare chassis for an entire month. It's a little ridiculous because it's not only Japan that they will have this issue, it's also China as well. They announced that they will not have the spare chassis ready until they get to Miami. There's been some dark days for Williams in the past 10 years or so, or you can say 15 years as well. You can pretty much go all the way back until their last win in 2012 with Pastor Maldonado at Catalunya. There were a couple seasons where there were some good bright spots, with the likes of Massa and Bottas scoring podiums, but overall it's just not been a very good run for Williams. And to be honest, this could be one of their lowest points. Yes, they had that one season with George Russell and Robert Kubica where they're pretty much guaranteed to finish dead last every single Grand Prix. This could honestly be more embarrassing, and it also looks even worse on them, or especially just James Vowles in general, at a time where Andretti was rejected and Formula 1's official reveal of why they rejected them. A couple of things were along the lines of they're not going to be competitive, they're going to be backmarkers, they don't add any value to the sport. And here you have a team that literally can't scrape together some spare parts, they can't get another chassis for an entire month. They're forcing one of their drivers to sit on the sidelines because of a crash. It's just ridiculous. It looks so bad on them. And really, they have a lot of explaining to do, especially James Vowles. Another thing to point out is, my goodness, what does this do for Logan Sargent's confidence? I mean, he was already dealing with a lot of scrutiny last season. Of course, yes, he was well behind Alex Albon in the pace, really underperforming compared to his teammate all season. And then people were really surprised when Williams signed him back for this year. And honestly, he has shown a couple of bright spots here and there. I would say, yes, he has improved. He's getting a little bit quicker and getting slightly closer to Albon. But overall, you're trying to get this guy to improve and get better and get closer to his teammate. What on earth does this do for his confidence? He already stated the snub in Australia was probably the worst moment of his entire career. He felt absolutely terrible about it. And now they are forcing him to race a wrecked chassis. It's not going to go well for him this weekend. I can't imagine he's going to be putting in any good lap times. If he does, well, then that's a massive improvement. But still, this is a situation that in 2024 in Formula 1 should be really avoidable. And Williams, like I said, has a lot of explaining to do, especially James Vowles. This is just such a bad look on Williams, and honestly as a sport as a whole. It's just terrible that a team is in a state like this. It's really, really bad. I do feel terrible for Logan Sargent, obviously. And yeah, they better get this chassis fixed really, really soon. But yeah, it's just a quick update today on that fresh news from Williams, just adding to the entire debacle with this wrecked chassis and all the issues with putting the drivers in the cars. But other than that, Suzuka should be fun. It's always fun. It's one of the greatest tracks in the world and on the Formula 1 calendar. The fans are already showing up in full force with all of their crazy gear, and those wild DRS helmets are back. So it should be an exciting weekend. I'm sure we'll get plenty of news and can't wait to cover it all for you guys. Talk to you then. Thanks again for tuning in to Racing Direct.